is taxes. We pay so much money in taxes, more than we actually have to. I mean, the tax code is actually written for us. And this is just where I'm at right now. In the beginning, it was all about like just, educating people how to manage their money. And then it was like making more money. How do we help people make more money?
Hello, Empower Nation. Welcome to Empower Her Money podcast. I am your host, Angela Duncan, speaker, best-selling author, serial entrepreneur, and we talk all things money and business. Today's episode, I get to interview Chris, otherwise known as CQ. She is with CQ Consulting Services. We're going to talk about what is a financial strategist, how it differs from a financial advisor, and the questions you are missing when you're interviewing for a new financial strategist to help you grow your income. Today's episode is sponsored by morewithangela.com, bringing the wealthy strategies to you every day, helping clients earn double-digit passive income returns without having to spend the time or energy finding real estate deals. Go to morewithangela.com today. Book your call with me directly, morewithangela.com. Keep more, make more, live more. Hi, CQ. Welcome to Empower Her Money podcast. We're doing a joint podcast today. I'm super excited. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I recently became a partner with Drive Planning, and I know you've been a partner with them for a little bit, but I would love for you first to kind of share your story. Talk about like how you got started being a financial strategist today.
All right. Well, I became a financial strategist after, I started out because I was taken advantage of by a so-called professional in about 2011. And at that moment, I decided I was never going to let anybody take care of my money ever again. So I started learning. And the more I learned, the more I realized, the short version of it is I realized that the less we know, the more money that the financial industry makes, the more the government makes. And it really empowered me or inspired me to I need to help everybody and let everybody know all the things that I had learned. So, and it just kind of developed into becoming a strategist.
So you've been doing this for a little bit.
Yes, I love it. I dreamed that this is what I was going to do. It just sort of, how they say, make your mess your message. Well, being taken advantage of actually turned out to be a blessing in disguise for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's terrible that you got taken advantage of, but now you were able to turn that into a positive and really help people and make sure that they didn't get taken advantage of as well. So what kind of makes you unique as a financial strategist compared to other people besides not taking their money?
Yeah. So I think what makes myself and my company different is that we are all about education, and we want our clients to realize that they don't necessarily need us. We want to educate them and show them that is a different route. Going the traditional route is basically subjects people to having to put away money for 45 plus years to maybe have enough money to be able to retire. And we feel like we can help our clients. We have helped our clients become financially free within 3 to 7 years. And it's not difficult whenever you know the right strategies and you have the right tools. It's not difficult as they would like us to think it is.
Yeah. And so when you say traditional route, what does that mean in case someone listening doesn't understand?
Traditional is putting all your money in the stock market. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds. I actually started in the beginning with real estate, which is something, I know that you are very much into. That was one of the first things I found out, is that I could actually take my IRA after I lost my job. I was able to turn that into the self-directed self-managed IRA. And so I started buying real estate with my money. And I mean, that was the beginning of where I am today.
Yeah. Been a learning curve, but you continue to learn, I'm sure, as even though, you know so much now, there's always more for us to learn too.
Right. Never stop learning.
Yeah. So what should people, when they meet with either a financial advisor, financial strategist, what should they be asking about?
Well, I think today, I think the thing that I've been working on a lot now, and I've noticed how many people are interested, is taxes. We pay so much money in taxes, more than we actually have to. I mean, the tax code is actually written for us. And this is just where I'm at right now. In the beginning, it was all about like just, educating people how to manage their money. And then it was like making more money. How do we help people make more money? And then once, I got to the place where I was making more money, it's like, oh my gosh, now I'm paying way more in taxes. So I didn't want to create that same exact issue for my clients. So now it's taxes. Like, is there a better way of handling our taxes? And I think people should ask themselves, am I paying too much in taxes? And then reach out to somebody or talk to some tax strategists and learn different ways to keep more of their money by paying less in taxes.
Yeah. You wrote a book also, correct?
I did.
Tell me a little bit about it.
My book is called The Less You Know, The More They Make. And the reason I wrote it is, I told you all the things that I was learning. I'm like, oh my gosh, I felt like I wanted to be a whistleblower. I needed to tell everybody all the things that I had been learning. And obviously, I couldn't do that. When I wrote the book, my editor told me, Chris, you could have written like 3 books here. You need to like separate this out. So my first book is just talking about some of the landmines and some of the strategies that I've used to be able to create financial freedom for myself. And I'm working on a book for this year, and it's going to be all about taxes, how to keep more of the money. I teach people how I learned how to make more. Now it's like, I want to tell them how they can keep more of their money.
Yeah, I love that. All right. So this is the part of the podcast where we're going to switch gears a little bit.
Yeah.
And you can put me in the hot seat, which is a little unusual for me because I'm used to the one asking all of the questions. But
Right.
it's your turn. So ask away.
All right, cool. Thanks. Because I get to post this on my podcast. You're going to be, so thanks for joining me on Cash Flow Hacks. Hey, I know that you started this podcast for women, which is something that I've always, focused on too. What made you want to do a podcast just for women or geared towards women?
Yeah, a couple things. So I sold my last company in February of 2023 and I was really burnt. I didn't think I wanted to launch another company. I thought I've got kind of enough money to live forever and I don't want to work anymore. But true to entrepreneur spirit, I got really bored. I was talking to my daughter and I said, I just want to learn, I just want to teach people. I want to teach women about money because there's still so much lack of information out there. And as women, we think differently, we act differently, we invest differently. And so, how can I reach them and help them on their journey? And that's when Empower Her Money podcast was born. Thankfully, my daughter helped me set up all of the technical pieces of it. I have a full-time assistant that does that now, but I really just wanted to have a free platform for women to learn about money and business where we can share stories and just help each other.
Yeah, I think that's why we connected, I mean, really so well, because when I first started, it was all about women. I just wanted to help women. I didn't want them to be taken advantage of. But I know that you're totally into real estate, which is another connection for us. So, why do you think that it is the best place to invest?
You kind of touched on it a little bit. People don't understand taxes and how we should be using it to our advantage. Similar, like you said, with the traditional investing, been told for years that you invest in the stock market for 8 to 10% return. That's normal. Then you pay taxes on fully, right? There's nothing there for you to take advantage of. With real estate, there's so many ways that we have tax advantages from depreciation and things that we can write off. being a real estate professional. There's just lots of IRS codes that are available when you invest in real estate. And to me, it's a tangible asset. I know everyone is going to need a home. That's a basic need that will not go away. And it's a numbers, when you're looking at investing in real estate, it's about the numbers. You take the emotion out of that. It's just logical. And I think that's a much easier idea for us to grasp as women so that we can take that emotional piece out of what we're doing and just purely look at the asset, the numbers, and take advantage of all of the IRS tax codes that are available as real estate investors.
Right. Well, I think real estate has made so many, and we've heard in the past that real estate is what makes people millionaires. Most of the millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires that we know today, they all come or started with real estate. And for both of us, we found financial freedom through real estate. So can you, if somebody else hasn't, or any women that are listening to this, or men on my podcast, if they haven't been or haven't ever invested in real estate, what would you say is the best way for them to get started?
Yeah, first thing is to find a mentor and pick a lane. There's so many ways that you can invest in real estate, and some of the things we talk about is tax lien investing. There's syndications where we pull money together. Find a mentor and pick a lane and become a student. Learn as much as possible about that lane and just ask questions. And, there's YouTube videos, there's podcasts, there's books, there's so much information out there. And because real estate is such a broad subject, hone in on one, right? Become an expert, at least on paper, on one. And then you can get started. And there's lots of ways we can get started. I started doing tax lien investing many years ago. And in Florida, you could buy a tax lien for $500, but you still need to know what you're doing first. So that student piece is so important. But when people say, oh, I don't have, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to invest, well, that's just not true. I think that's another myth that we're kind of fed. There's lots of ways you can invest in real estate, but you start smaller. But if you don't find a mentor that's already doing what you want to learn and is successful in that route, then it's like buyer beware, right? That we don't want to just go invest in something because we saw some seminar or watched a class or something like that. I'm a big fan of Grant Cardone. I'm in his community, but he makes it sound so easy, and it can be when you have the right knowledge and information and mentor, but otherwise you could lose your shirt, and I don't want that to happen either.
You know what? That's funny that you say that, because you're right. There's so many coaches out there that make things look like they're so simple. And it's like, you asked me what the difference is, like with me and my company. One of the things is that, like, through all the programs that I've been in and paid for, it's like I got so much amazing information. Like, I did the tax lien thing too in the beginning. I was like, this is so awesome. But it's like, you can lose a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. So
Mhm.
it's like, my program is like, I help people. Like, we give them white glove service. We actually help them step by step by step, versus when you're these programs that I was in, they gave me this amazing, awesome information, but I didn't know what to do next.
Mhm.
What do I do first? I don't know what to do first. And so that's exactly what we do, is we help people step by step get to where they want to be, and they don't ever have to guess or feel like, I don't know what to do next. So can I ask you a couple questions about
Sure.
you
Yes.
before? I know this is an educational program, but I like people to kind of get to know, like, are you from Florida?
No, I was born in San Francisco. I moved around a ton as a kid. My stepfather did not live on the right side of the law, and so we moved a ton, and we didn't have a ton of money. I don't know that I necessarily call anything home, but I did live in San Diego probably for the most part of my young life, so I do call that home, I guess.
Oh, wow. We can totally relate in that area, because I actually moved to Florida from California, and I was in San Diego too. So
Oh,
I didn't know that about you. Um, what kind of things do you like to do for fun?
yeah. Well, my daughter's off to college, and I have 2 dogs. I love to travel. I went through a divorce a few years ago, so it's been an adjustment to learn how to travel without the plus one, just finding a new community. I do go to church. Miami is filled with everything. So arts, sports, festivals, do a lot of conferences. Yeah. And podcasting and working.
Well, yeah, you know what is funny? Because when you find what you love to do, it doesn't feel like work. Like
Yes.
right now, like I said, being financially free, we could retire. But to me, what does retirement mean? It means working because I want to, not because I have to.
Mhm.
And it's cool to help other people to be able to create that for themselves also. So
Absolutely.
that's what I do for fun. Anyway, I don't know anything you want to know about me before we end your podcast?
What do you do for fun when you're not working?
Oh, well, when I lived in California, I like to surf. I used to get up every morning and surf, but just I love to mountain bike. I like hiking. Um, I don't know. I love the sun, and I'm so glad to be in Florida now because I like waking up in the morning and just getting up and taking my dog for a walk. And I mean, I like nature, really, is what it comes down to.
Yes, we are
You're-
very blessed. We're leaving one coast, going to the other.
Yes. But you're a city girl. I like cities, but I think I'm actually, as I've gotten older, I like kind of a quieter I like kind of a quieter life.
Yeah.
And I moved into an area where there's a lot of young people and they like to party. Like like country club partying, they're um so and I've realized that I've become more of an introvert,
Hmm.
not so much an extrovert like you. When I first met you, I'm like, oh my gosh, you have such a good personality that I'm just like, she's gonna do amazing in in this area of,
Yeah.
I mean, not just real estate. Now you're expanding, and I love that. So,
Thank you. And most people don't know this about me that have met me recently, but up until my podcast, I had never spoke to a microphone or a camera or on a stage. I was terrified because I thought that I didn't have anything good to say. So why would anyone listen to me? And through the podcasting, I'm over 200 episodes now. It's really helped me to become more comfortable and understanding that we all have something to teach and I have something to teach and God's given me a talent and I'm finally using it to, hopefully share and change lives when it comes to money. So, would love to start our rapid fire. I just have a couple of questions for you, and we'll go back and forth on this one. So, the first one I have is, what is your favorite color?
um, teal, I think. I like
Teal.
and yellow.
Okay, mine's pink, obviously.
Nice. Even your
um,
hair is pink.
yeah. Are you a coffee or tea drinker?
Tea.
Tea, same, but chai tea. So with a little bit of coffee sometimes. Dog or cat?
I love them both, but I have a dog.
Really? I'm not a cat fan, although the stray cat keeps coming to my house and I do feed it.
You know what? They do have personalities. I didn't think I used to like cats, but one of my roommates had a lot of cats, and I just thought cats were stinky. But that's just if somebody doesn't clean the place up. My friend, her house never smelled like cats, and they have personalities, and I actually kind of like them now.
Oh, very cool. So if you knew today was your last meal, what would it include?
Oh man, I'm kind of a kid at heart. I love pizza, so it would probably be pizza, but I love steak too. So, but
Hmm,
I'd go with pizza probably.
Pizza? I think mine would be a mix of like sushi, charcuterie board, and whiskey on ice.
Oh wow, she had to add it all. You put it all in there.
A little bougie, but yes, that would be my.
Yes, you have the bougie taste buds.
Yeah. All right, CQ, you mentioned your podcast, your book, but tell us again what the podcast name is and how do people reach you if they want to learn more?
My podcast is Cash Flow Hacks, and the website is CQ Cash Flow Hacks. If you want to reach me, my website is CQ Consulting Services. And if you want to actually speak with me, on the very front page, there's a link there that says Learn More, and you can click on it, and it takes you to my calendar.
Awesome. And I'm Angela Duncan with Empower Her Money. And this has been an incredible joint podcast. And I've had a lot of fun. So thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much. I did. I had fun too.
Thank you so much for tuning into Empower Her Money podcast. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, share this podcast, and leave a review wherever you are tuning in.